Why the face? I hope you're not putting this on us. Well, we showed your people a way forward. We gave you rules. You broke the rules, so folks had to die. The one who fired the first shot, we strung him up to make an example of him. Could have stopped there. But you people still didn't listen. You wanted to fight us. So this is how it has to be.
Oh, man, I'm...
Hi, I'm Negan.
Hey, I'm Negan. Hello, hi, I'm Negan. Nice to meet you. Would you like to buy some insurance? Hey, everybody, this is Bring Out the Dead. And as you can say from our tone, we were a little less than impressed with tonight's episode after... Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm Ross.
And I'm Tony Lamar out here in Austin, Texas.
I can't even contain my disdain for this movie. It's just... Or the show. I love the show. I love every episode. And
right.
This episode started so good. I loved all the little things. I love the weird lights at the beginning, when it was Daryl in solitary confinement. I loved...
Definitely I felt that the beginning was very strong.
Yeah,
okay?
Morgan with the "You Are Alive" sign, which, going back to his "All Life is Precious," it was kind of a nice touch on it. The man who was literally walking almost dead, trying to get back to his base. Another man running from the saviors, all these things. The new old married couple of the show, who would have ever guessed Carl and Enid? That was interesting.
Well, it was bound to happen. There'll be a couple. Yeah. It's just a process of elimination, pretty much. But tell you, overall, I did like the episode. I liked the episode. I only had a problem with a couple things we'll get to eventually. And I felt it was a missed opportunity.
Boy.
Anyway, so back to the storyline. Again, I'm to the point where I understand Carol just wants to let go because she feels that she can't kill to protect her family, and she's straight up said that. You know what? At this point,
let her go.
Let her go.
She's honest about it. She's telling you what's up. She's doing everything the right way. You know what I mean? You can't force somebody to be something that they're not. And like she kept saying, if anybody should understand it, it should be Morgan.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you on that. Yeah. And he just didn't see. Just, I gotta save you. I gotta take it back to the plantation.
He had Eastman just pouring out of him. He just couldn't.
Yeah.
He couldn't stop. It's like, come on, really, man. But come on, dude. Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of the saviors, one of the badassest. And how weird is it that the savior is badder ass than their leader, than the guy we've been waiting for? That's a little weird. But Stephen Ogg, man, he's the guy who played Trevor. Dude, he is so good, man. I love everything this guy plays.
And really, he as the actor who played Trevor in the game.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And he was also in Better Call Saul in on the garage thing. He was the one that Mike took all the guns away from him. That's the same dude. I mean, he is so badass. This guy, he just... I don't know. He's an intimidating dude, man. He just knows how to play that shit.
All the road scenes were done perfectly.
Beautifully.
I can't find anything wrong with it.
Fucking work of art, which is what makes the end so weak. I was like... one thing I did notice, there's a lot of crosses this season. They had the light that was coming through in the solitary confinement was sort of in the shape of a cross. You have Carl's, the crucifix. I've seen a few others this season. It's just very interesting how much of a and I don't know if it meant anything or, if maybe it was coincidental and, the
It's something to look into.
Yeah, possibly. I just thought that was interesting.
One of the situations on the bus was brought up was the whole thing with Abraham and Sasha.
Yeah.
He's taken to the next level, I guess. Or, hey, I'm available.
Let's start making babies.
It sounds like it's time to start populating this world. And tell you the truth, man, honestly, that's not on my mind right now. It is not safe enough.
No.
To even think about bringing kids in this world right now. The world is too damn crazy.
Yeah. Especially after what they just went through, taking out the saviors. Even if that was the entire group, how could you think about bringing a kid into that world?
Yeah, look at the struggles and with Judith, whatever. Yeah. It's like there's a constant threat of her making crying noises at the wrong time, It's not right now. Just not right now. So I don't know why they brought that up, but hey, I don't know. Trying to show a different side of Abraham.
Well, I
don't
think
know.
they're just trying to show that he's changing a little bit. That he was sort of starting to change with the times, but boy, the times just smacked him square in the face.
Yeah. He would show that you're soft and nice and do her nails then.
Yeah.
Don't get her pregnant.
Exactly. Go bring her some fucking chocolates or something.
Learn how to braid her hair or something,
Exactly.
man.
Didn't Carol leave behind a recipe for chocolate? Go get that.
Yes.
Do that.
Time for some acorn and beets cookies, people.
I
It's-
like there's a point in the on the road thing when they stopped when they were planning their thing and you just hear the zombies knocking on the door. It was
Yeah.
outside, and I just wonder how many zombies in this world do you think are just knocking on doors where nobody's on the other side? Oh, let me in, please, let me in.
a lot.
I bet there's a
But I'll
lot
tell
of
you
door
what, though,
knocker zombies. I think
Again, Nick and the special effects, man. These zombies are just falling apart, man.
the one with the chains all wrapped around him. This is
That was freaking cool as
fucking
hell, man.
zombie fence, man. Now that's how you stop some people.
And it was cool though. Like, dude, that would mess with my head.
Yeah.
Seeing pieces of my friend's hair,
Yep.
jacket. I was hoping to see Glenn's hat, but he hasn't worn that in a while. But
That would have been a
That'd be
little
pretty
weird.
cool.
His backpack, his little short round backpack that he used to have.
hey, but just showing Michonne's hair and Daryl's jacket was enough.
Oh, that's all they needed, man.
And you can see how quickly it messed with Rick's head right
Oh,
away.
yeah.
And you're like, dude, yeah, I think we bit up more than we can chew.
Yep.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're just going to litter this fence with evidence of our capture.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. After the second barricade with different people, yeah, I think they got more people than we imagined.
Yeah.
And-
They had they had an almost unbelievable amount of eyes on this thing.
Here's the thing. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna step back just a little
Yeah.
bit. I did have an issue with the scene with the zombie chain up. Why did they shoot them? Wasn't the whole point, or just to make them go that way? I don't know, because like they didn't start shooting until they're already done their whole thing. They're all out there exposed. Was it a ploy for them to go forward or what?
Yeah.
Because they didn't try to kill them,
Well,
in my opinion.
But that's what they said when they arrived. What was the first thing that Trevor says to him is, "You have arrived. You got to where you were going." That's what he told him.
Oh yeah, he
And
did
so
say that.
so I think he was leading them that way. That he wanted that kind of thing to happen. But I thought it was interesting when Morgan was talking to Carol and he said the line about, if you care about anyone, there's a price that you're going to pay. Well, that's all of life, man. That's now even. We don't need zombie for that to be true,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, and again, we keep talking about the fact that he doesn't understand where Carol's coming from, which is why he keeps bringing this up. Carol understands the concept of that there's going to be a price to pay. She has more than paid it. You know what I mean? It's not like she's resistant. She's not
She's done.
She's not
She's
Eugene, who's just finally getting into the game. She's been in the game to the point, like you said right there. She is done. You're so right.
Yeah. And Morgan just saw that.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to be like, we need to stay together.
Mhm.
He's like the Michael Jackson of the group and trying to unite everybody. No, maybe we need her. Let her
No,
go.
Carol Tito needs to go.
Yeah, let her go.
Let her
man.
go.
She's holding back the band.
But no, she needs to do her own thing. And if her own thing is dying, hey, that's her choice, And in this world, there's few things that you get to choose anymore.
So, tell you what, speaking of dying, Maggie don't look so good.
No, she was looking a little pasty there towards the end there.
I'm telling you, man, it just doesn't look good
And
for her.
she's got
It
a
does not
fever,
look-
which means that there's an infection going on. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
This is not the world to get an infection. That is not going to go.
Yeah, you mentioned that many times that this is the one thing you do not
No,
want to get an infection.
no.
And make sure you boil your water, people.
Yep.
Even in a zombie apocalypse.
Absolutely, you get worms and
Okay.
shit, and that's all you need, man.
Okay, we need to address the elephant in the room because we haven't talked about this yet.
Well, we're getting there.
We haven't talked. We haven't gotten there, but I'm gonna tell you, people. I hate to say it, but I called it all. I called it.
All I gotta say is that when he says, "Let's meet the man," Tony came in his pants just a little bit.
I was.
But
So, yeah, here he comes. Yeah, there he is. Well, hey, people.
Yeah, there he is. Now you don't want to claim him anymore. Man, that was weak. Oh my God, the governor was scarier than Negan. Come on.
Here's the thing, man. I think they stretched it out just a little bit.
Too long,
with
yeah.
Negan.
Yep.
And the comic book is slightly different.
A little
bit. I mean, but they pretty much did that. But it was a lot shorter conversation.
And it should have been. It just kept going on, and it lost its fuel. The whole thing. At first, he was a little intimidating, and I kept expecting. Like, first of all, this is what I think that he should have done. I think that, when he had Rick like kneel down in front of him, and they the way the music and everything, boom, when he like kind of knelt down, they made it like this big deal. But he's knelt down before captors before. On several occasions, and he's always come out on top. So they made it out to be bigger than I think it was. But man, what would have made Negan so badass is if he would have made Rick pick who. I'm going to beat somebody's ass here. You're going to tell me who, and you can't pick yourself. Go. You know what I mean? Turn it into a reality show really quick. And if you don't pick somebody, I'm going to start with the boy, and then you're going to pick again because you're going to still have to pick. And if you don't, I'm going to take out the next person in line, and you got to pick. And if you don't, I'm going to keep going until we're done. And either you've picked or I'm done. One of those two things is going to happen.
It should have been something like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. It should have been quick, and then he could have done the whole damn speech.
Yep.
And them all freaking out. And maybe just have the conversation with Rick and not showing anybody else. While everybody's screaming and freaking out and not realizing who you can't hear anybody.
Right.
Maybe you don't. Because it would have been pretty cool if after he beat him, it would been like a ringing in his ear.
Exactly.
And he could just hear Negan.
That's all you need to hear is Negan's voice and that that kind of foggy, hollow sound, so that you just hear the ambient noise in a sense, but you can't really tell what it is or what anyone's saying.
You think the audience would have went batshit crazy because they want to show me what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, but Rick and Negan, that conversation should have been so tunnel vision. Mm-hmm. It would have been so much powerful if they done it that way. In my opinion,
exactly.
It would have been,
after he beat somebody's ass, when he starts saying, "When I come to your door, you're going to open it because I own that door." Like he starts saying that after he's beat somebody into the dirt. Oh man, would that have had an impact? But all this, it's coming. No, it's really coming. It's coming this time. Now, this time, I'm really serious this time, and I'm going to do it any minute now. It's like, come on already. Enough.
They're just trying to build up the tension and just get their money's worth. But they could have done all that above if they just
switched the order.
Just
switch the order of how it happened. Is all that it would have taken.
And oh my goodness, you could have done all the beating. The blood all over his face, which I'm sure they're going to do in the season premiere. Right. Unless they're going to do origin story and milk that for 3 episodes, then show what happened at the beating.
I hope not. I hope they go straight into it. I think that's the way they need to do it. They can't get into origins on this stuff.
They'll start black and white, and it'll be Negan doing the zombie apocalypse and 3 episodes, and then they go back there.
Actually, what they'll probably do is put Negan in the Fear of the Walking Dead and show that he really started on the West Coast and worked his way east.
He worked his way up. I'm working my way
He's
up.
He's like, I had to build this army somewhere. You don't think they all came from Georgia, do you?
But still, I mean, you may be disappointed in the presentation of Negan, but it's just the beginning.
Well, I love the actor playing him. I really hope big things. And it's impossible to judge the character off of one appearance, because look at how badass the governor appeared through all these episodes, and he ended up being weak sauce by the end. So this could be the exact opposite, which I'm really hoping. The show has a good tendency of pulling strengths when you don't expect them, and so I'm hoping that this happens to be that one of those cases.
Yeah, it's still a good ending. It could have been a little bit shorter, or just a little bit.
Could have been an hour episode, honestly.
Yeah, well, they still had to do the whole thing with Carol, and except what's going on in the next season 7.
I kind of get it.
So you get an idea. The whole idea was, which we even talked about.
Could have done it in an hour and 10 minutes. Then I don't know. So
you see Morgan and Carol leave with another group, which they didn't say, which I kind of mentioned in another episode where they're from, but it confirmed what I said last episode, who these people were. So we're going to see a new camp in the season 7, which obviously has to happen.
Well, I think that's cool,
So-
though. That's interesting that they're bringing in all these new players because they used to do it one at a time. You had Woodbury first, right? They showed them just by themselves, and then they showed Terminus by itself, and then they showed Alexandria by itself. And so now it's good that they're literally getting to the point where they're colliding with multiple worlds all at the same time, and that's cool. Widen this thing out. Let's make this thing grow a little bit.
And that's what they're doing in season 7. It seems like the last couple of seasons is building up to this one here, which I've been waiting for since season 5. I really thought, no, I'm sorry, season 4, that they're going to start introducing the saviors. I remember hitting it, even back then, that I was hoping to see the saviors. And come on, once we see the saviors and see Jesus, it's all about Negan.
Yep.
And as soon as that happened, it went down that rabbit hole. And I'm excited about it. I'm not disappointed with the season. I still feel this particular
This is
season.
one of the best seasons ever. I'm not disappointed in the least.
It was the best season of all of them.
This is just the weakest episode next to the.
I don't think as weak as you think it is. I mean, I think sometimes you're a little hard on it. Again, it delivered what they expected. It when it introduced Negan, and he's brutal.
Oh, you're just happy
and-
because he appeared and you won the thing. So
No, it's not about that, which I already knew. I knew. Come on, as a writer, they did exactly what I would have done.
Well, at least
wait till the very last episode, and told you they're going to cliffhanger and not show who they're going to kill.
no, I knew
In
that.
this one
We
here.
knew that, but I never argued that. But what I'm saying is that I just don't like the idea of the way that they brought him in. At least they didn't bring him in at the very end of the episode. At least it wasn't one of those. Right as the credits were going to roll, and here's Negan, type of thing. I'm glad they didn't do that, But at the same time, the thing that I do like about the show is they tend to do these big dramatic, introductions of characters and things like that in the middle of the season, in the middle of the half of the season that you're watching, wherever it is. They introduced the governor that way. He was not at the end. It wasn't a big cliffhanger. It was him like right in the thing. And by the time you got to the point where he had Merle and Daryl in a pit together, ready to fight, that's where they hung the thing at. And I like when they do that because it makes it more intense. But I don't have a problem with the way they did this. I'm fine with it. And I think that it leaves enough questions for season 7. You know what I mean? That I'm really ready for that first episode.
Well, season 6 did have a good mid-season cliffhanger. It wasn't a cliffhanger, just they were going into the zombies, which is enough to like, what the hell is going to happen? So overall, season 6 is probably one of the best episodes. I think only one episode we had an issue with was the whole Morgan thing, right? That was like episode 4 or 5, whatever. But overall, action all the way through. Great storyline. They paid off with the attack on Alexandria in the opening of the mid-season. And they ended it strong, regardless of how you think. I still think it.
Well, I'm
it
not
ended
saying
strong.
that it did any damage to the season. I'm just saying that of all of them, this wasn't the strongest episode. I think they could have done much more with it. Whereas the other episodes, everyone was like, by the end of it, I was exhausted, like I'd just been in a fight. You know what I mean? And I just didn't feel that. I was actually, by the end of it, I was starting to get a little bored. Like you said, they just dragged that scene on for too long. And I just started losing interest, And I wish they would have just changed it up a little. But that being said, I have no problem. This episode was gorgeous. The way they did the road thing was just intense. I loved it. It built the tension perfectly. It just the trouble was that they didn't let the tension off the right way. They kind of let the steam go for way too long, and they shouldn't have done that.
And that's a good way of describing it. Is just that it ran out of steam because you're built up and they're all lined up. Like, oh shit, this is where it's gonna go down. And again, we're repeating is the fact that Negan came out should have been like to the point.
Yep.
Because I'm making myself clear who's in charge right
Exactly.
now. Because I tell you what, beating down one of your people from off the bat would get everybody's attention.
Completely.
Oh, he's serious. This is for real. Yeah, this took out. I don't know.
And that's why I was saying too, if he made Rick choose, because Rick wouldn't have been able to choose, so he beats somebody down because he can't choose. And then he's coming back to, you know what I mean? Oh, and at the very last words that he says when he has that little speech with his ears ringing, like we were talking about, and the very last words is, "Hey, you're still up. You got to choose." Boom, and they cut to those credits. You're like, "Oh, somebody else gonna get beat down." It's like, dude, tell me you wouldn't be tripping on that the entire summer.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, they still will talk. Who's going to die? Is it Maggie? Is it Glenn? Is it going to be Abraham? Is it going to be Eugene?
Which brings us to the question: who do you think it is?
Are you asking
Yeah,
me?
prediction. What do you think?
I can't make a prediction because I already know.
Well, you don't know because you've been wrong on the show before. Who do you think it is? Just say it because it doesn't matter. If you think you know, fine. And if it does come out that way, that's fine too. But what if you're wrong?
Okay, well, okay. I can't guess because I'll just guess the comic book. I'll tell you who dies in the comic book. Do you want to know?
Well, but this is the thing. What this show, how it follows the story to a point to the comic book, but it has not been following the comic book. So, do you really expect them to follow that death?
I do, and I think in the comic book, one person is killed. This right now, there's an opportunity to kill two of them, which would be freaking cool if they'd done that because you wouldn't expect it. Okay, here, I'm gonna stick to my guns. Is that the person that should kill would be Maggie. All right, and unless she loses the baby during all this stuff, then okay, maybe she can stick around.
Right. When Maggie though wouldn't be right to kill because she's already weak, and it would seem like Negan would need to take out somebody stronger. So my guess on my end, I'm thinking it needs to be somebody like Abraham, or if it was Glenn, that would be nuts. But even crazier because of the way that it was done, that he clubs him over the head. And the dude gets back up and he's like, wow, you're taking it like a man. He hit him a second time. That lends me to think it might be Eugene.
Well, here's the thing. If you look at all of his crew, they're all big guys. He's going to break Abraham and all the other guys who are big. He needs the muscle.
Right.
So there's no reason to kill him. And the fact that Abraham stood up to him, he backed down like, okay, I can use this dude.
Well,
he's a soldier.
We don't know that he's necessarily killing anybody here. He hit him a couple times and he beat the shit out of him. But we don't know that they're alive or dead either. And again, maybe they're breaking from the comic book in that way.
No, okay. He beat. Did you hear it? Come on, man. That was a beating with Lucille. Who's going to survive that?
Well, he got hit twice in the head. But if everything else was not body blows, but like arms and legs and shit, you could survive it. And again, we just don't know. We just don't know. So,
and I'm sticking with Maggie. I understand she's sick, but that's right now.
Right, no, I'm with you, but to me that's the weakest choice because she's not anybody that he would be making an example of properly. You know,
I don't want to give the spoiler away from the comic book because in the comic book a certain person does die and it was quite violent and it was very graphic in the comic book.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, so
we'll see.
Yeah.
Apparently that isn't Daryl then.
Because Daryl was named in the comic book, but here's the thing that you brought Daryl up. That fool said no, not one word. He got a shoulder shot, I guess, and he was quiet, and he could still go.
Yeah,
and you know what? He is definitely on the chopping block.
I mean, yeah, why not? It's not like they have anything to do with his character. Wouldn't that be a shock too? And that's what I'm saying is I just have a feeling that they're going to break away from the comic book, and possibly the person that you said that you're talking about that's going to die in the comic book, who you won't name, is would be killed at a later point next season. Because again, that's what this show does. It catches people off guard. That's what they're good at. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So, what's your prediction? Who do you think?
Well, I said I really think from the way that he got back up, I would love it to be Eugene, just showing that he had that last bit of toughness, going out, like that he manned up kind of thing. So,
okay, that's good. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who knows? All right, so, okay, your opinion on the overall with the season, anything that you really stood out as, like, this is why I like The Walking Dead, this is why I will continue to watch The Walking Dead, what stood out for this particular season that you really liked?
Well, it's beyond the episodes. It's because you have to look at, to me, the entire season. It's the way, think about it like they're driving a car right now. They understand the way to kind of get everything in the right gears to get you moving in the direction they want. The first half of the season was like 3, maybe 4 days. All the way up to the first episode of the second season was just a short period of time that they really went over and showed you this is life, man. They really covered it. They don't have to do that ever in the future because we understand it now. We understand how much they went through in those few days.
And you think about that. That's an amazing 8 episodes of season 6. They said it's going to be crazy from the jump. They weren't kidding.
It was,
the very first frame was of Corey full of zombies.
Yeah.
What?
Slipping out between the truck, their skin peeling off. Some of the most gruesome zombies we've seen yet. And, just literally like this mob scene of zombies. They end up breaking off towards Alexandria when they're trying to lead them away. Like, all that shit happens. The wolves come in and create their own havoc during this shit. Like, just layer after layer after layer building up. Then they finally break away from that, and then a few weeks pass, or a month, or whatever it is, passes. And boom, these guys it's like they're going up on the on-ramp now, trying to get onto the freeway, and they're just boom, 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 just everything with it was putting them on the collision course with the episode we just watched. It
was a great season, and I'll say it again. To me, this is my favorite season to date of The Walking Dead season 6. For number 1, season 1 is second place. Season 6 is number 1 now.
Yep.
Just great
and
great season.
It's funny because I like certain episodes in other seasons for different reasons, but you're absolutely right in what you just said. And this season has taken them all down. And the craziest part is I completely expect next season to blow this season away.
And it's going
to make this season look like Andy Griffith. That's what I'm...
And that's why I'm all excited. Like, this is a setup for the season 7. Like, I've been preaching people. You're going to see some... I mean, I always preach it this way because I read the comic books. But people, it's going down big time. And it's going to be crazy. And I'll tell you what, Negan's going to deliver. I'm still wondering about... there's a big thing coming up in season 7 is with the Kingdom. And I don't know how they're going to do this on television.
We'll see.
And I'll just hint to this without this. It has to do with a particular character in the next town of the Kingdom. I don't know if it's going to be CGI or they're going to... I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm curious. And we'll see. It's a pet. So hopefully it'll be pretty cool. We'll see you next season.
He's going to walk around with a penis everywhere he goes. He's got a pet penis.
Just one of the characters has a pet, and I'm looking forward to seeing that pet on the Walking Dead season 7, which premieres October 10th, 2016. I don't know. I'm just guessing, people.
No, it's probably going to come out around then. Maybe a little closer to Halloween. It tends to be like the last couple weeks in October. But even better yet, something I got to tell you guys is, and I can't believe how quick they're cranking out the episodes. The second episode of the Michonne game came out. And boy, do they deliver. You want to talk about some people that know writing. And again, it comes from these same writers. It comes from not necessarily the show writers, but everything that goes into this is approved by Kirkman. You know what I mean? He does not let anything into his universe that's not like approved. He doesn't want to change the essence of his story. So he keeps an eye on this stuff. And holy crap, man. You end up, I don't want to give too much away for people that are going to play the game, but you end up basically running from this enemy that you get captured by in the first episode. And now you're running from them. And it comes down to where you got one of them captured, and he's able to talk to his, the person in charge. They're Negan, basically. He's able to talk to him through the radio, right? And so you're holding the button because you've got them captured. And you can hold the button as long or as short as you want. And as soon as you cut it off, it drives the scene forward. And my stoned ass is like watching what he's saying. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then he starts going, and this is here, and it's by the tower. And I'm like, oh, crap. I forgot to let go of the button. So I got to play it again just to see what happens if you don't give them all that information.
That's great.
It was really cool. And just some interesting choices that you need to make. And again, trying to get into Michonne's head to play how, to think and play how she would be doing it. And it just makes it really exciting. And I love the fact that unlike the other 2 seasons that they did of The Walking Dead where it followed Clementine's story, like now you have a character that you actually know and you care about. You know what I mean? We've taken a vested interest in her. And trying to bring her to life, to me, that's so much more exciting. I really think they nailed it so far. There's one more episode coming out probably in a couple months. And, what a great way. I just really love that this is how I'm finishing up this year's Walking Dead is with, this great game. So
that's my next question. Now that season 6 is over, it's a wrap. Once again, you and I go through this withdrawal until October. So what are you going to do to help maintain your withdrawal fixation of The Walking Dead over the next spring and summertime? We got plans.
Masturbation.
Okay. On that note, people.
No, I mean, honestly, I try to just deal with it. Sometimes I'll even, like, if I get crazy about it, I'll rewatch maybe this season. I haven't really gone backwards very much. When the first show was on, there wasn't much to see of it. I caught myself rewatching season 1 and 2 a couple times just to kind of, find the secrets or whatever. But I'm over that stuff, and at this point, I might rewatch this season just to kind of get ready for next season. But even that, I won't do it until the beginning of October, when I can just, I can literally just cycle through it and get to season 7 and get all geared up for it. But other than that, you just got to deal with it, man. It's cold turkey, man. And unfortunately,
and the crazy thing is, like, next Sunday, the Fear the Walking Dead premieres, and he just said nothing about that episode at all.
Yeah, I don't even have. It's not even on my radar, man. It really isn't.
It's sad. This is such a Walking Dead, fan base here. We're big fans of it, but we have no interest in the show that starts next Sunday. Yeah. The Fear the Walking Dead, which I think they have 16 episodes, or is it going to be?
I think it's 12 this time.
12.
For some reason, I think it's 12. I may be wrong, but this is it. I kind of hope after the first episode that I start hearing people saying, "Holy crap, I was wrong," because I will check into. I'm always on Facebook and we'll see what happens. But
I may watch it, and I may, because like I said, it's just, I don't know. But I love my zombies. Yeah. Okay, and it's not fair that you give me a mediocre show after The Walking Dead. Yeah. The Fear the Walking Dead should be just as good as The Walking Dead.
And there's no reason it can't be.
Hey, Seinfeld had a hard first year.
Yeah.
Maybe they're hearing people they're thinking about last season, and maybe they'll make better choices this year, and we can only hope and see. I will watch the first episode. If I feel it's the same tone and same, like they're on the same path, I'm done with it.
Okay.
I'm going to be done with it. But I will check it out for my people. I will check it out for sure.
Tell you what, let's make this deal. We're going to watch the first episode, and we will do a podcast on it, and we'll tell you what we think and whether or not we're going to continue from there.
I think that would be fair. Yeah, I think the audience would expect.
I don't know how many more times we can say we're not going to watch it anymore, but we'll keep saying it until we stop watching it. So how about that?
Like I said, I am to give it just one chance because I had time to go over it and say what went wrong with last season, and let's see if we can fix it. If I get no sign of that in the first episode, I am done with it.
And the preview don't hold out much hope that anything's going to...
I haven't even seen the preview, and which is rare for you to hear me say that.
Completely reversed. I've watched the preview, and he hasn't. If you've listened to Movie Hype at all, you know that is not the norm. So... But see, that's the thing. That's an interesting thing right here, real quick, just to wrap this up. The reason why I watched the trailer is because I don't care about the show. So there's nothing they can spoil for me, because as far as I'm concerned, it's pre-spoiled.
So. I just haven't come across it. I know I get emails from AMC about it, but I never clicked on it. Just, like I said, I had no real interest till recently because there's no more Walking Dead. So I'll check it out, and I'll give you my opinion next week for sure.
Yep, we'll all be checking it.
I don't expect it to be very good.
No, but it'll be interesting. And you guys tune in here because you love to hear us talk about crap that we seem to care about. I don't know. We do. We really do care about zombies, which is very weird because we could just go and get a life and married and stuff. But no, it's zombies. So cool. I hope we all enjoy it. And I'm Ross Miller out here in California.
I'm Tony Lamar out here in Austin, Texas. You can find me online at Tony_Lamar. Just look for me, people. I'm out there. And don't forget, I'll be at the Huddled Crawfish Festival, people, on April 16th. I'll be in Austin, Texas at Cap City Comedy Club. Oh, I jumped ahead. No. I'll be in Austin the 22nd and 23rd doing Moon Tower Comedy. And then in Denver, Colorado on April 29th. Then back to Austin on May 3rd. For Funniest Person Austin contest. So that's what's up, people. That's what's up.
Cool. Go see them. You're gonna find them. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Bye.
Yeah, I got one more thing to say.